Next up, we've got new releases. Actually, I liked this new release, this one and the next one. I don't know if you got a chance to watch it.
I haven't gotten a chance to watch What If. I want to hear about it. I've read a little bit about it. I'm gonna watch it this weekend with my wife.
There you go.
Because I know that the first episode's about Sharon Carter, right?
Yeah, she's in this version of the universe, she is Captain Carter. And what I like about the show, and so I won't give you too many details about the episode because it is just too awesome not to watch yourself. But however, what I like about this show is that it's a tie-in between WandaVision and Loki. So WandaVision kicked things off with this new phase. We right at the end of that episode or that series, we see WandaVision becoming the Scarlet Witch, one of the most powerful beings in all creation. And then we've got and Loki, we've got the Loki variants. You've seen the last episode of Loki, right?
Yeah.
Spoiler
absolutely.
alert for those who haven't seen Loki. Skip ahead 5-10 minutes. 3, 2, 1. So at the end of that series, you've got the Loki variants. They're fighting over whether or not they should kill the He Who Remains, aka Kang the Conqueror, the one who survived. And people, the sleuths of the internet tied up a conversation that the three of them were having in Loki, where he said, up until about 10 seconds ago, I knew everything that was going to happen. And before that line, he kind of has like a little bit of a fall thing with a pen. He's holding a pen and he kind of lets it clang to the desk. Well, people timed that up with the last episode of WandaVision, and his pen fall is timed with the fall of Agatha Harkness. So as she falls from the sky, and as she's becoming Scarlet Witch, there's a bass noise that happens in the background of Loki, and it's him saying that she's come into existence. I know. Like, oh, Missy, how do I skip a live stream? Oh, sorry, man. Mute it. Wait for the next one. I'm getting a lot of people like, how do I skip a live stream, jerk? Oh man, I got to look at the chat more often. Joe said McCree from Overwatch. He's gone. There you go. Reaper of Souls. Something else Joe said. D2 gameplay is more solid in my opinion. So Destiny 2 gameplay. There you go. That's awesome. Thank you, Joe.
Reaper of Souls is the expansion. Thank you, Joe.
Yeah, there you go. Somebody's paying attention. I'm not. We're not. I'm going to keep looking over now. I got to get this a little bit more in my view here. The microphone keeps covering me up.
Now we're getting viewers. We got to interact.
Exactly. All right. Please help me. I've been struggling with time travel my entire life. Yeah. I'm going to do this. How about this? I'm going to hold my hand up, and then when I'm done saying it, I'm going to put my hand down. Fair deal? Mute me. All right, real quick. So the end of Loki, the timeline starts to fracture. The single perfect timeline starts to split out. Yee! Then chaos ensues. I won't tell you what happens after that, but the point is, because of that fracturing of the timeline, we now get this series, What If, where the Watcher, who's an omniscient being who watches everything but cannot participate in anything, he is now explaining to us, the audience, what is happening in these different little bits of timelines, right? Where these small decisions make alternate futures, right? Mm-hmm. In this episode, it is a small decision made by Sharon Carter that causes the things to ensue. It's actually a really great little
that's awesome.
What would happen if Sharon Carter was the first Avenger versus Steve Rogers? So dope.
So have you read any of the comics on What If before?
No, I have not.
So the big one that I've read, because I haven't read many, but the big one that I've read was House of M What If, which is pretty interesting because
Scarlet Witch that's a What If. I've definitely read House of M.
So the basic. So for those of you who don't know, getting into comic nerdom for like half of a second, House of M essentially reboots the mutants in the Marvel universe. Scarlet Witch loses her mind. And very similar to what happens to her in the show, rather than just kind of internalizing it and becoming this kind of powerful being and everything, she just lets loose and she utters the words, "No more mutants." And what she does is completely wipes out all of the mutants in the entire universe, and not kills them, turns them human, except for, I think it's 198. There was 198. Yep. And then it essentially reboots the mutant universe, and then there are no actual mutants born until Hope Summers comes, who's the daughter of Cable. Really cool. But with that, the What If series for House of M was no more humans. So what if she said no more humans at the end, and the world was ruled by mutants? And it's
That's
really
awesome.
cool. So you should read it if you haven't read it. It's really cool.
That's dope. Awesome. Now the next one, we're flip flopping here. I know it's called Joystick Maverick, but we're sticking in our comic book world. We're going from Marvel to DC with today. That's right, today. 3 episodes of season 3 of Titans just dropped on HBO Max.
3
no
episodes.
Shit.
I'm gonna
There's
be
301, 302, 303. I believe there's 3. That's what I read online. I have not looked to see if there were 3. I just went to the first one and started chomping on it. I won't get into the juicy details, but some of them are pretty obvious. You got Red Hood pictured here. We got to get there somehow. We get that kind of transition really quickly out of the way. So my favorite thing was it didn't wait for it to drag out. Obviously, we've got promotional art here. We've got Wonder Girl back, Donna Troy in the background. So obviously that plan works out for Raven, try to bring her back to life. And then got this.
Now I'm all over the place.
Bro, look at the picture. She's right next
I know
to Superboy.
She's been in all the promotional material.
Yeah, it's like, how are you gonna like spoil the show? She's standing there. And then if that doesn't happen in this episode, I'm just saying, if unless it's just flashbacks, then I want to give her an honorable mention for being there. Barbara Gordon hanging out on the left, chilling in that wheelchair. She is Oracle. But the whole episode, I've only been like 20 minutes in, man, and it was already like, I got jazzed up. I got super jazzed. Would the Marvel zombies be included in What If? Yes, Jason Todd is Red Hood. Yes. Actually, you can see the part of the clip of the very first couple of minutes was released yesterday online, and it was Bruce talking to Jason. He's like, I got Joker in my sights. And I was like, okay, they're just like throwing us a bone from like episode 3 or something. No, right away. So first 10 minutes,
really?
Enjoy that.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I'm super.
Dude.
That is exactly what I'll be doing after recording tonight. After we do our show, I will be watching that because
I mean it's why not? It's out there.
Yeah, dude, hell yeah. Red Hood's one of my favorite characters in the DC comics. So,
you know, after our conversation last week with AJ, Red Hood, aka Jason Todd, the second Robin. I love him. He uses guns, you know, and he was voiced by Dean Winchester.
Yeah, Jensen Ackles.
So that was always great for me. We always wanted Matt Ballmer to play Nightwing. Too bad he's in Doom Patrol. But I'm excited to see what happens this season. And we get, obviously, an introduction of a third Robin that's been spoiled out there for everybody because casting rumors and stuff. Yeah, which is dope.
What if we got like Damian Wayne in the show, but like baby Damian Wayne?
He's like 7.
He's like 7 years old. He's
just slicing ankles.
Oh yeah,
I would love it. Oh, I like. Joe, did you not know that Jason Todd is Red Hood? Did we just spoil the shit out of that for you?
Come on, we did. That's.
I'm sorry, man. In 1986, there was a comic poll that was sent out in the back of one of the issues of DC Comics of should Jason Todd live or should Jason Todd die? And it was the first opportunity for the audience to actually vote on what would happen in the story. And unfortunately, I hate to say it, it was resounding yes, he should die. And they wrote it in the story. Antics ensued. Here we are years later, Red Hood. I love this action booty pose though from that character in the shot. If you're watching at home,
yeah, he's like sticking his ass out for sure.
Definitely pushing it out. You know, I love equal opportunity. I don't like stereotypes. Stick that booty out. Next, another new release. It technically comes out tomorrow. Free Guy. I want to talk about this one in particular. I talked to Mahaffey about whether or not this could be counted as a new release because it is coming out tomorrow. Technically, it's coming soon, but I wanted to talk a little bit about it. And I'll remind everybody, this is the movie where Ryan Reynolds plays a bank teller who discovers that he's actually an NPC inside a brutal open world video game. Kind of a basic plot. It's got Taika Waititi. It's got Lil Rel Howery. What up, bro? It's got Joe Keery and Jodie Comer. I think this is going to be super fun.
Yeah. I feel like they've been marketing this movie for like 2 years.
Yeah, but I'm not seeing like an over drenching of marketing.
Yeah.
At least I haven't. which is making me think that it's going to be good. I didn't know that it was going to be potentially like a Disney property. Yeah, so one of the things that Happy shared from an article on Screen Rant was about the fact that it was not going to get a Disney Plus streaming release, at least not for a little while. It's something close to like 45 days. At least 45 days. That's crazy to me. And I can see, given the heels of what happened with ScarJo, right? Talked about how she was basically her chunk of money was cut into because everybody during the pandemic bought massive TVs and 4K everything and speed out the wazoo. Because it couldn't go anywhere.
I don't have any TVs.
Well, you already had it. Yeah,
no,
right.
I don't have any TVs in my house.
Yeah, just don't dox yourself, okay? Every episode. But no, so I mean that makes total sense. Why would you go to wait in line, do the popcorn? I love the experience of the movies, but nostalgia is nostalgia, right? It's a fleeting feeling. You feel it for a bit and then you go away. And I don't think Disney knew the power of watching it on Disney Plus. Maybe they did with Mulan. I mean, I can't really say with an educated guess how popular that was. I don't think it did either. But with this, they're not doing a rollout into theaters. And double down, they announced today that officially Shang-Chi is only going to be a theater release when it comes out on September 3rd.
I don't think you'll ever see a Marvel movie on Disney Plus day and date again. Unfortunately, I know that was a big draw for a lot of people, especially with you having a newborn.
Yeah.
You know, not to mention everything going on with COVID, but you having a newborn and being able to watch that day and date. I don't see that ever happening again. And I think after everything with the Warner Brothers, I don't think anything Warner Brothers past Dune and is going to come out on HBO Max.
No, I mean I totally agree, man. And I think, you know, we could play conspiracy theory all day here. I'm like, oh, did the confrontation from the Scarlett Johansson lawsuit, did that cause some friction? And instead of that Disney, the Mighty Mouse, changing their ways, did they go, watch this, and just pivot? They go, we're gonna fuck with all your friends, didn't it? Like, oh, you gonna come with us? Guess what? Your peeps over here, they got movies coming out too. And we're going to sprinkle a little extra cash on them for being cool about it. Like, you can't tell me that there is not a little bit of vindictiveness in the world of business. Although we all wish that corporations were, yeah, brother, he's not a robot. My favorite little thing, I think it might have been Joe, not to call you out specifically, Joe, but it might have been you. Who told us about a meme, or it might have been Sam. It was like, now, oh yeah, you want your money? This is the funny part. This is where you don't get any. I saw a TikTok. It was really quickly. It was like swapped out, and on at the end of Black Widow, there's a scene, and I won't say what's happening in the scene overall, but instead of saying somebody's name on it, it says Scarlett Johansson. That the other actress is standing there, and instead of somebody walking up and she's like, "You're not supposed to come to me on my vacation day," or whatever she says, it's a Mickey Mouse terrible costume, and it's like, I don't give a shit, bitch. Like, guess what, motherfucker? You want this? You want to be the new Scarlet? You want to be the new Black Widow? And yeah, shut your mouth. I'll come out here whenever I want to. And it was a good minute. I gotta find it and I'll share it. It was jacked up, but. Again, Disney will probably never sponsor our show, let alone allow anybody from that entire organization tree to be on here. But whatever, this shit's hilarious. Too funny.